Richard, it's a rarity that you get this long a break at this time of the season. How have you found it, having like 10 days off essentially?
Yeah, it's a break for the wrong reasons. Obviously, we're not going to go back into that. But yeah, we've got a lot of work into the players tactically and physically over the last 10 days. Being 1 or 2 days off, which we will always have anyway. But it's been quite a productive week and a half.
I was going to say, when you go from being Saturday, Tuesday or Saturday, Wednesday, where it may be, you actually don't have that much time physically with the players on a training pitch. How beneficial, I know it's not ideal, you want to be in the FA Cup, but how beneficial can a 10-day spread of no football be for you on a training level? Well,
it's been like I say, it's been quite beneficial. I feel it has been, and I think the players and the rest of the staff have, because we had an in-house game on Friday, so they could rest over the weekend. Quite intense. It was high tempo, good quality. Sometimes lack of quality, which happens. But no, we've been quite happy how the week has gone.
And I'm guessing you, in terms of going away for a few days, you couldn't have really relied on a better performance, because the result against Carlisle, you would have loved the win, but actually the 1-1, when you look back on it and reflect on it now, how pleased were you with the overall performance?
Really pleased. During the game, you think, oh, crikey me, we've been under it a little bit. But when you sit back and watch it, you know, I think the performance was probably better than the result we got. Like I say, most people would take a 1-1 draw against Carlisle, because they're a top side. With, you know, when you've got Regan Linney in the side, you're going to score goals and create goals. And, you know, I think proof's in the pudding what happened this weekend in the cup as well. So performance was good, and it was nice to get a result. But like I say, the performance was very encouraging.
The last couple of weeks have seen a few new faces, 4 new faces come in to the club. How have you found that in the last few days of them bedding in and becoming part of the squad?
Well, it's what we need. You know, it's been really hard. We tried to build it up, just having maybe sometimes at times only 12 outfield lads training. You can't get a lot out of that, really. But now, you know, like I say, we had an in-house game on Saturday. You know, 11v11. You know, Ollie and Jaden came up to help us out as well, which was brilliant. But there's competition for places now. Training will be better because we're at it. There's more people making match situations or training situations realistic. And you know, should be able to fill the bench every week now with 1 or 2 missing out.
I think a lot of people get overexcited in football in general, doesn't matter which club you support, when you see a debut and a good performance. But how impressed were you by Max on his debut, and how good has he been over the last couple of weeks in terms of training?
Well, the whole group's been really good. You know, it was good to see Max come in. You always worry a little bit when new people come in and hope they do well. And that's why, you know, I know there's been a lot of talk about why haven't we brought people in earlier, but we're trying to get the right ones in to be for either Christmas, you know, January window opens and what have you, or the whole season. So we're quite pleased with our recruitment at the moment.
Do you think realistically this probably is the way the squad will be, barring injuries, until the January period?
You never know. You know, people come in, people move out. You know, football's a strange old industry. So at the moment, I'm really happy with the squad. We should be able to get up the pitch a bit more and give forwards more chances to score with the setup we've got. So at the moment we're happy, but you know what it's like in football, it could all change.
You mentioned forwards there. One name that obviously is hopefully coming back to being a part of the team is James Daly, obviously playing a bit more of a role, being involved with the team in the Somerset Cup and such. How's he getting on in his progression?
He's good. You know, he's been out a long time. I think it was excuse me, second or third game. I think it was the Forest Green game where he took his big knock. Maybe the one before, but you know, he's a naturally fit lad, but being fit and match fit is a big thing, you know. So he's got a bit of time to get up to 100%, but his character and his attitude is top notch. So he'll get there.
You feel like he's not a million miles away from being part of the first team and seeing him in the National League?
Well, no, I mean he came on. I think he came on against Carlisle.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, starting.
Yeah. Listen, that's why we've got probably 2 people to play every position, to give each other a little bit of a nudge, and you know, I'm on your back. So you know, I think, like I said earlier, you could almost pick the side with the amount of people we had in the squad, but now we've got a lot of choices.
Wealdstone should be a really interesting one. Before the last couple of games, their form guide had dipped right off. A good result against Sutton and a really good result in the FA Cup the weekend against Southend. What have you made of them so far?
We've had a good look, like we always do. And the stat, what shocked me was they're in the top 2 for possession so far this season, and it did shock me. But when you watch them, obviously that's our next game, so we're big on the next game and do a lot of due diligence like we always do. They're a good side. They can keep the ball, they can press. They've got defenders who want to defend. So it's going to be a tough game, like every game. There's not really an easy game I've encountered so far this season.
With a fully fit squad, ideally, what would you like to see more of from your team? Is it when you mentioned that they're playing possession football, what would you like to see more of? Would it be a high press? Would it be more possession?
We chop and change. You know, we worry about other teams, but the main priority is our performance. You know, and you know we've changed the system a little bit. Whether we change back or not is for other people to find out before the game. But I'm just big on the team, and when I say the team, like the 11 people starting, the subs, the people not going to be on the bench, and the staff. You know, we want to be one big group, all going one way, instead of pulling in all different directions.
How key is it for the home form to really find some ground now and start starting tomorrow night against Wealdstone?
Yes, it's key. I think every team wants, let's make our ground a really hard place to come and make it a domain no one wants to come to. You know, we do that away from home as well, but we need to be on our toes. If we play to 90% of our potential, we've got a great chance of winning the game. I always say if 8 people play to the top of their game, you've got a real good chance of winning the game. And if the other 3 aren't on it, as long as they run around and work hard, it should be a good team performance.
And in terms of the squad itself, you've obviously had a bit of a break now. Does that mean pretty much you've got everyone available that should be?
There's one or two probably maybe missing out for tomorrow. We're checking today. Some might not train, or a couple might not train, or one might not train. So we've got a rough idea what we're going to start with, but we're hoping 1 or 2 might be fit.
It must be a blessing for you to actually have a more or less fully fit squad.
It's great. You know, like I say, the medical side of it's really good. The strength conditioning's good and improved. So we're getting together a good little football club here, or a big football club.
Fingers crossed for 3 points tomorrow.
Thank you very much.